Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my homestead here in Nicaragua. This has all been about a year in the making. We built this house all hand tools. All this wood has been chopped down either here at my in-laws' farm or over at the neighbors about 40 minutes walk away. All this wood has been chopped down by chainsaw and cut by chainsaw, which is why you can see all of the different like chainsaw marks on it. And then we hauled it here on horseback or on our backs and cut it all up with hand saws and nailed it all together. So it has been quite the year. This is our outhouse for now. We ran out of energy and wood to make it, so we just put up some plastic. I'm so proud of myself. I made the hole, which is huge. It's like, geez. So I'm 5'3", so it's probably about 6 feet deep and probably about 5 feet by 4 feet, 4 feet by 4 feet wide. So huge, so it'll never fill up, which is good. I decided to do that rather than compost toilets just because, again, so exhausting with a 2.5-year-old and moving to a completely new country and getting us all set up here. So this is the garden that we are putting in, that Julio has been putting in. What you can see here, this is our rabbit pen. We are experimenting with having rabbits in colonies, and it's not going so well, honestly. It's we've had so many problems. And then this was actually for our meat chickens, but here in Nicaragua, the price of feed has gone up so much that in where we live here, like there is a town right across there, and the town has maybe 15 houses and businesses all together. So there's just not enough people to sell enough chickens. What we were making was about $1 a chicken after 30 days of cleaning and giving antibiotics because they're always sick here, and then cleaning their pen, taking care of them for 30-40 days until they're big enough, and then butchering them and delivering them. We would only make about $1 a bird is what we were doing. And really, the most we ever sold in 1 week was 18 birds. So $18 a week wasn't cutting it for us. Like, we just couldn't, we were barely surviving. So what I ended up doing is renting an apartment in town this way on the boat, an hour and a half down the river, so that I could actually work online. So that is what we're doing right now. We're teaching English and meditation and healing and lifestyle stuff, coaching, that sort of stuff that I was doing before. And as you can see, this is a little table that we set up to grow our seedlings on, because the leafcutter ants were coming in and destroying all of our garden. The leafcutter ants have wreaked havoc in our garden. We've done so much stuff. Before we were just 100% organic, and now we're like, okay, we've actually used like a specific pesticide just for the leafcutters. And then we've been putting like gasoline into the holes of the leafcutter ants and then blowing it up. Sounds barbaric, but it's actually a lot of fun. And it helps, but it's only for like maybe maximum month or two, and then they come back. And the thing is with the leaf cutters, like all of this takes so much time and energy. Any of you gardeners know, like this takes so much time and energy to grow everything from seed and put it in the ground. And then leaf cutters ants within 3 hours. If you haven't checked your garden, 3 to 4 hours, they have cut and cleared everything in your garden. In 3 to 4 hours, you can lose everything. So it's quite a big deal. So this will probably be for chickens or quail in the future. We'll just have to see. With the rising food costs, nothing is really sustainable insofar as that. Maybe just chickens, you know. Our garden right here, we have nothing yet. Ooh, but you can kind of see that beautiful plant right in here. This one, that is it's like a certain type of mustard green that is apparently they used in the space stations that's really, 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 really high in minerals. And so I got those seeds actually from Costa Rica. I had to go there on a visa run and pick up seeds while I was there. And then you can see arugula. And here we have our, let's see, English, apio. Apio, what is apio? It's escaping me, but you guys know what this is. It's very easy. And then over there, we actually have broccoli. You see that big plant? That is a broccoli plant. Not a traditional broccoli, but a different kind. And then here we go, our arugula, which is dying. We think it's been way too rainy. It has been so rainy the last 2 weeks. Everything's muddy. It's nice and cool, which is very, very nice. But wreaking havoc on our garden as well. So here's the rabbit pen that we made. We decided to do a colony because the what is it? 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch, like the middle? I can't remember. But anyways, the thing that you put underneath of their cage so that the poo and the pee can go through, they don't sell it here. Like, you just can't get it. I've asked and they're like, what? No. So all they have is this. And this is, I think, way too big for little babies' feet. So anyways, we decided to do colonies. You can see the little babies that we have now. They're not very happy. They're, I don't know if they're like chewing on the little ones, or if this is some sort of fungus that has come and is wreaking havoc on them. I'm not quite sure. So we feed them with pasture, just pasture land. All of this is pasture land. So we give them unlimited pasture, unlimited greens that we just cut and put in with them. And then, of course, their normal rabbit food pellets. So I'll take you on a tour. Hello, my babies. Hello, my sweeties. Oh, they're so sweet. I love them. I think these ones are about 3 months old now. We didn't get very much growth. We had a hurricane come through about, 3 weeks ago, and we couldn't get food for them. And we were stuck here at the farm actually for 2 weeks because there was no electricity. Well, I could have gone to town, but everything got flooded in town. So there was no electricity. They didn't have any food. So for about 2 or 3 weeks, these guys only had what we had here in our garden. So they had banana leaves, and they had guava leaves. They had, what else do we have? Like wild noni leaves as well, and then grass, but they didn't do so well. The adults didn't have a problem with it. Hello, my love. The adults didn't have a problem with it, but these poor little babies did. They really didn't do well. And then the mama, the mama of all these babies, we finally had to just butcher her and eat her. Because when the hurricane came, she actually jumped into this side of the habitation, and she actually bit off the tail of one of her babies and then bit the rest on the back. So that's what, I don't know. I have never had this kind of behavior with rabbits before. So I think maybe she just got super stressed out with the hurricane that came through, because it ripped all these tin roof pieces. It ripped all these from here to more than halfway. It ripped them off, and they were wet, and the poor things. Oh, I felt so bad for them. But, you know, what can you do? It's a hurricane. We were stuck in town, actually. Hi, baby. So, this is what we've set up. Originally, the idea was to just have 2 big open spaces. One for 3 females and 1 male. And when I brought in and introduced another female, we originally only had 2. Oh, looks like the males are... they're being naughty. So, no, that's actually the female. Okay. So anyway, sorry. So originally what this was going to be is just all of this side was going to be open so that we could have them live in a colony, right? And then this side was going to be for our grow outs. And we have had nothing but problems, just them fighting and biting each other. And I mean, I introduced them very, very slowly. I didn't let them fight, you know, just females, right? Just the females, because we had the original pair and they were here first. So what I did is I introduced the females in a completely separate area so they like got to know each other, and they were not fighting. I'm just making sure that they're not fighting. All right, good. Shh, 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 shh. All right, he's just trying to mount her, just making sure he's not being rough with her. And the so I introduced them. I let them like in separate cages for more than 2 weeks or 3 weeks. The moms, the 2 adult females, the new adult one with the other one, and then I eventually moved the other adult female into the area, but she was in a separate area so that they couldn't fight, but they could smell each other and everything else like that. And then eventually I was like, okay, I think they're like, they weren't showing any signs of aggression. I was watching them, and then I was like, okay, I think I'll it's been, geez, I don't know, a month and a half since introducing these 2 females. So I put the 1 female in with the others, and the other mama female attacked her and bit her on the butt, and she got really infected. So then we separated them. I was like, okay, this isn't working. We're just going to separate them fully. So we separated them completely and put 2 of the younger babies, which you can see here, 2 of the younger babies in here. Now they're about 5 months. So anyways, we had to separate them. And we've had so many problems with this female. I finally was like, you know what? It's not worth it. Let's just eat her. And we have all these babies from her. So, we'll just raise them all together, and hopefully they'll be able to actually have a colony, which is what we were thinking, what we were hoping for. But it just hasn't been going well at all. I think, when I get a chance, I'm just gonna do the wire cages again, because then they're separate, they don't fight, there's no problems. Here on the ground, because it's so wet here, I think, even though we clear everything out and we put fresh sawdust down so that it's dry, it's just not working. They've got so many problems with fungus and parasites. We've had to do anti-parasite and put fungus cream on all of them. So it's just been a very interesting long experiment. We've been doing this for a year. We got the first original pair a year ago, which was super hard to find rabbits here. It was crazy. It was such a challenge even just to find rabbits here. And the locals are like, ew, why would you eat rabbit? It's a rat. And I'm like, well, you obviously haven't tried it, because it's amazing. It's really, really good. So I think we're changing minds bit by bit, but it doesn't matter. It's really for to have something producing waste for our garden. Is to have an animal producing waste for our garden so that we can have that fertility in our garden. And then also just for meat for us. And then we're learning how to dry pelts so that we can have pelts for us. So it's just kind of a fun experiment, right? And they're so cute. They love to come hang out. I love them so much. Aww. And these are, let's see, a month and a half apart. We have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 or 6 that are the bigger ones that are about 3 months now. And then we have only 3 or 4 of the smaller ones, because a lot of the smaller ones died when we had to switch to like them having no pellets. A lot of the smaller ones died. I think we had 3 or 4 die from switching to pellets. When we didn't have pellets, and they'd all eaten grass since before they were born. Their mom ate grass, but I think it was just too hard on their system to go from, okay, you know, we've got pellets and grass, to just grass and leaves and that sort of thing. So it's definitely made me rethink the sustainability of rabbits, even though I just love them so much. But I'm not quite sure it's very sustainable, especially here in the tropics. And with me not actually being able to find an alternative here to feed them to where they're going to be happy and healthy, and having to depend on that food from Purina. That's the only food we can get here, which is not organic, it's GMO, it's all that stuff. I'm definitely rethinking having rabbits as a meat source as well. Like, they're doing really good giving us compost, but also the compost isn't super clean because, you know, everything that is in that pet food isn't super clean either, right? So I really rethought it, and you know, in the future I'm gonna get cages, definitely, and also I want to try growing moringa, and in the future try rabbits on slowly switching them over to moringa. But that's we haven't had much luck with the moringa plants as well. I planted, geez, I want to say over 50 seedlings that were, you know, maybe a foot and a half tall, and we've only had 4 survive. So I'm like, I'm not really doing so good at this. It's been a very tough year. It has been a very tough year. But I feel really good that we have now a little bit of vegetables. We do have the rabbits for meat. It's been very slow, but we do have some meat every once in a while, some vegetables. And Julio just planted a half an acre or a quarter acre of corn. So we have purple corn, white corn. So I think in 5 months or 6 months, that'll be ready to harvest. But it's really just not been sustainable here at all. It's been really, really tough, especially if you want to eat something besides rice and beans. And if you want to plant something besides just rice, beans, yucca, corn, that's what everybody eats here. It's just rice, beans, yucca, corn, chicken, pigs. And I'm not really interested in having pigs because they are so loud. Like, their screams just like scramble my brain. So we are experimenting, and this is where we are right now. And at the moment I'm thinking, yeah, I really want to actually live somewhere that's a lot easier to live, because also it has been with the neighbors. We have the in-laws here, and you know, it's been kind of mixed. They're great, but also it's hard because we're from a completely different culture and a completely different way of life. I mean, you know, I grew up with a washing machine, and they have never had a washing machine. They wash everything by hand. So, I mean, that's just one huge difference. You know, there's a lot of cultural difference. And also me just being the only foreigner here, you go really crazy. Like, I need other foreigners to talk to. I need someone with the same education level who understands what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a like, give me that thumbs up, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything. And I will be updating more and more and more videos about our farm and about our journey in general. All right, until next time, see you.